Hello, this is my second time that I've done ketamine so far. I've done 2 of 6 treatments that I've paid for so far. And moving forward, I definitely plan on doing more beyond that, just because I've come to the realization that ketamine is something that I believe has significant opportunity for people for healing. And honestly, I'm going to take it as far as saying that I think it is one of the biggest breakthroughs when it comes to treating depression and PTSD and anxiety and all these other mental illnesses that you want to put a name on. But it really has me thinking to where society is today. And right now, suicide and depression are a major cause of death across the world. And you got to ask yourself why. Why are so many people so depressed in such a beautiful world where there's so much love, there's so much friendship, there's so much opportunity, there's so much of everything. And what is causing people to become very depressed? I myself have been struggling from depression for a very long time. And I've come to the realization that at some point or through my college years, through high school and college years, that is when life became just simply too much, which really put me in a spiral downhill. And today is, it's 4/19, so January, February, March, April 19th it is today, 2019. And like I said, I had my second treatment yesterday. And I just want to say thank you to the Northwest Ketamine clinics here. We have one in Seattle and one in also Bellevue, Washington. But I encourage everyone that has suffered from depression to really look into this technology, we'll call it. Ketamine has been called a horse tranquilizer in the past, and it's also been called, which that's why I first heard it, and also party drug, special K, all this and that. But that we have to look past these things and really look at the studies where it's at today, where the military is actually looking into these studies involving something called S-ketamine to help with people with PTSD, people coming back from war and stuff. And I want to say here, and just make this video about 5-6 minutes long here, that my experience, out of my 2 experiences that I've had in this, I'm treating that it's been absolutely phenomenal. I actually have done it 2 times before going into working with these clinics, and I knew that there was something very special with this. One of this was actually recreationally at a cryptocurrency conference down in Mexico one time about 3 years ago, and then also I had a surgery done about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where they gave it to me once again. I had no idea that they were putting me under with the ketamine. And so that's right there. When I came out, I was like, what in the world happened? They told me that I was on ketamine. And I was like, oh, put 2 and 2 together. And I said, well, that explains why I had so much fun. And, I'm just saying this, when I say fun and stuff like this is not something that's supposed to be abused. And that's kind of get the negative stigma, just like putting a horse down with this stuff. The people that are partying and abusing this stuff just putting it up their nose nonstop, or doing a whole bunch of this. But when there's a difference when it's done in a controlled environment, and being in a controlled environment, what I mean by that is actually being used in a doctor setting, having someone there to monitor your heart rate, an esthetician, and they are monitoring how much they put into. I think I'm like at 55 something, whatever the measurement is that they're using right now for this right now. But I jumped up, I think, like 5 since the first one, even though I didn't really necessarily need a little bit more. But more definitely is not always better. But I'm not complaining about this last dose I had. So talking about my 2 experiences here, I will say that last week I was in Mexico with my children, and even though it was a phenomenal time, I know that I could have been in a better state of mind before I went on this trip. And I knew when I came back, I was very excited to start. So as soon as Monday came back, I was on a flight Saturday. I got in, and when Monday came around, I called up the Northwest Ketamine clinics. And I was like, can I get in there right away and go ahead and start treatment? So they did a physical for me. I bought a 6-pack for $2,400. The going rate for these treatments seems to be about $400 all across the United States for the states that are involved with this. And also they charged about $150 for a physical, because they want to make sure that you're in a good space to be able to take the ketamine infusions. But I will say that after the first treatment, I had had a major breakthrough. I did it downtown Seattle on the 17th floor skyscraper, beautiful view all around. The clinics here are absolutely phenomenal in Bellevue, and Seattle locations under the same ownership. And I say the staff was absolutely phenomenal. It seriously felt like these people are in their life's calling, doing what they're doing with all this. And it really, the visuals on ketamine, first of all, are absolutely, it's so amazing. And what I recommend people doing is putting an eye cover across their face, their eyes, and also using some of these little earbuds or something like that and rocking out to some music. And I would really go into this with an intention and some things that you want to touch on in your life. So be prepared to go into this so you're not going blinded, because it is very self-therapeutic and you can actually guide yourself along the way. And when you need to come down to base camp, I say all you say is just love, 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 and it will bring you to a very happy place where you can kind of venture through this digital, serene, colorful landscape of this hallucination, disassociation that you're going through. And don't let that word disassociation scare you away from doing this either. I think that there is a lot of therapy in this disassociation. It's like the landscape really communicates with you. I have gone into the first session. My whole goal first was kind of go into it, session number 1, analyzing where I was at and just kind of letting myself go and really feeling the troubled areas of my life that I needed help on. Over the last 4 months or so, I've gone through a very depressive state. Excuse that. I had some work-related issues that really caused a lot of stress and grief and hit me on so many different levels that were, it really put me in a bad spot. It put me in a deep state of depression. And I really didn't think, I don't want to say I didn't think I could break through, because I'm a very, very strong person. But I tell you, when you're at the very the deepest depths of your life, I think a lot of us have been there before. It's just amazing how you can bounce back up. But ketamine really helped me find where I needed to go. And so I'd recommend, again, with these sessions, I put the earbuds in, and also use like a frequency music, like a 528 hertz healing music, or the chakra music. So there's different frequencies right there, because there's not a lot of words to kind of take you things. It's more your mind will sync up with the rhythm of the music, and it will take you on a path that's easily to be for you to guide yourself, which is very, very important, and also very upbeat and lifting and stuff. There's just something to frequencies, right? There just is. And so that time around, at the very end of my session, that the first one, I said that I knew immediately in the second session that what I wanted to do was I wanted to bring more love into my life. I wanted love to flow through me, and all the blockades, love blockades, is what we'll call it in this case, torn down, and have it flow into my life, and which would leave me in a state of not always looking for just other things in life. I want to have a sense of satisfaction within my own life, where more love abundance would come into my life, to where more people would be drawn into my life, to where I could have more of a positive effect on them, whether it's my children or people that I work with, or friends and family, all these things out there. So that was really cool. And at the very end of that first session, the sessions last about 25-30 minutes there was this, I remember visually seeing this big old bubble, and I could tell that within this bubble basically was communicating me. It said, through your healing treatments, this thing is going to break open, and behind this is that barrier that you're looking to break through, which is this love, healing, and all this great stuff. So at the end of your ketamine session, I recommend having gratitude and, being very thankful for the experience. Don't try to get more out of it. Understand that other treatments are going to bring more knowledge to you and stuff like this. But man, I'm telling you, there is so much wealth to consciousness, and knowing your consciousness and where your place at is in the universe and stuff like this. And you learn so much from this. So this is like my one of my big paths in life and stuff like this. And so just yesterday, I'm doing sessions on the regular twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Thursday session yesterday, I went downtown. Bellevue's right there. And again, a phenomenal session. This time, I brought in frankincense, which I have some frankincense right here. Frankincense is essential, oil. And I was inhaling this as I was dropping into the ketamine session. I was, both nostrils taking a lot of that in right there, and it really helped me feel relaxed. And I also put some here so I'd have something to breathe in, because your senses are very heightened in this state. Next session, I'm actually using rose water is what I'm using, because in this last session I just did, it was like with love, the roses, that was something that basically was told to me in this last case to do that. And also, you want to take notes. You want to have a journal that you have to reflect on afterwards, and that's very, very important, because there's always something about writing things down, like that. So in that second session, to conclude this little talk right here, guys, is that second session, it really, I had to, the colors again were absolutely amazing, but I got brought down to this very, there's a lot of blues this time around, a lot of light blues, a lot of dark blues, but then it took me down about 2/3 into the treatment session, down where it felt like I was going to the very, very bottom of this ocean. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going deeper, deeper, deeper. I was like, I hope this isn't what they call a K-hole, is what they call us, where they call it a K-hole. I don't think I've ever necessarily experienced it, but it's kind of like when you do too much ketamine, which I knew that necessarily wasn't the case, but I hit this bottom and this floor. And from this floor, all of a sudden, as soon as I hit this, rocking out to my cool healing frequency music here, these walls shot up from the base foundation of this, what's called an ocean, even though an ocean, the word ocean, doesn't do this place that I was at justice. These walls shot up through. It just strong core. And in my mind, this represented my core strength in shooting up and coming down from a base foundation, shooting up right here. And through these walls, there was like these life, they're almost like veins or something like that coming up through, and they were red, representing like the love and the life force going through these walls as it shot up. And it told me that I was going down to my core and building up with love from the very, very beginning once again, which I had not felt for like the longest time. Again, like putting this in words doesn't know justice at all, but that was a very, very powerful, much needed thing. And also in this last message, it came to me that we are not supposed to spread ourselves thin. And that's why so many people are going through depressions nowadays, is because it's very easy for us through social media and a fast-paced life and all our obligations in life for us to spread ourselves thin. And it seems like also that we have to, be liked by a whole bunch of people, or, we're always striving to appease other people on our path to success. And this definitely is not necessary. People will have more respect for you if you really tone it down a little bit and just be a little bit more discreet and stuff like this, and not just giving yourself away in a needing way all the time. So everyone, I highly recommend the ketamine thing. That's what I've taken so far from it. I got my third section. It's Easter Sunday this weekend, next Monday. I'm very, very excited about it. It's not something that I crave, but it's something that really it gives me something very good to look forward to the week. So because I was looking at doing some counseling to overcome this depression that I've gone through with the stuff that I've that's taken place in my life recently and stuff. But this, to me, $400 a session compared to going and spend $150 at a psychologist just to listen to them, it's best that you listen to yourself, I think. And if you're really genuine about that, that is what we can easily do with ketamine, and I think it's very necessary. So I'm very excited to see this journey takes me, and I encourage you all, if you're interested in ketamine, reach out to me. I'd love to connect you with the doctors that I'm working with over here at the clinics, and also if you have anyone that you know that suffers from depression, PTSD, anxiety, also please send my way. I really feel that I'm on this journey right now to help other people, and that's where my journey in life is about helping other people. I don't want to do anything else unless that's the case. So thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.